you start by introducing yourself?
Yep. I'm Ray Bellavance.
Where are you from?
Hardwick, Vermont.
Is that where you were born?
I was born, yes. Yes, it is. Right up here at the hospital.
All right. What branch of the armed forces did you serve in?
I was in the Army.
What war did you fight?
Vietnam War.
Vietnam. What year did you join the Army?
68.
68. Were you drafted?
Yes, I was drafted, yeah.
Okay. How old were you when you were drafted?
19.
So was this right out of high school?
Yes. Right after I got married.
After you got married. How did you feel about the draft? What was the consensus of like the people around you?
Well, I really didn't want to go. Being just married and everything, I wanted to stay home, but you know, I wasn't going to go AWOL or nothing to run away. So it's either do it or run to Canada, and I ain't the type to run to Canada. So
there you go. Do you have a lot of friends who were also drafted?
yes, I had quite a few that went over with me. Matter of fact, in my group there was 500 of us that went over. There was only 8 of us that came back.
Oh wow! Is this from 500 from the area or from
The 9th Infantry Division?
Okay.
Yeah, we went over from Fort Polk, Louisiana, when we left there.
Is that where you did your basic training?
No, AIT. Basic was in New Jersey.
Okay.
Fort Dix, New Jersey.
All right. So how long from the time you finished your basic training to when you were deployed?
We had another 6 weeks of training, AIT training. Then from there we came home for 2 weeks, and then we were shipped to California. From California, we spent a couple weeks there till we got on a plane, and we flew over there on a plane, and that's when we started. And we're shipped in different places. I was 9th Infantry Division, so I was down at the Mekong Delta, down in Vietnam in the Mekong, near the South China Seas.
Alright.
That's where I was stationed. And we ran airboats down there, airboat recons, gunner on helicopters, and stayed right in the swamps all the time we were there.
Oh wow! So, what was your specialization?
I was a gunner, and radio communications.
Okay.
And they were looking for well, what do they call them here? I used to call them, well, I can't remember what they call them, but, you know, we did experts on shooting. They had special guns and stuff there for snipers, as they call them today.
Okay.
So I was a sniper because of what I got in grades and everything in shooting.
Oh wow. Okay. What was it like to be put into the jungle from? Like, what were your surroundings like?
It was so much different from here to there because the jungles were so much thicker. They used to fly over and clear it and you know, kill the jungle so we could get through some of the places because it was so thick we couldn't make it through.
Oh, wow.
So then before you came back out, same place, you'd have to do it again because it grows so fast. Within a week or so, it was all grown back up again.
How did they clear it?
They used sprays from the airplane.
Oh,
they call it Agent Orange. That's what they use. And we were all, you know, acceptable to this Agent Orange. So, but they haven't got any test to tell if you're going to get cancer of it or not. So.
Did they have any precautions at the time for it, or
they didn't even have no idea what it would do to a person then.
Oh wow! It's just like, you think it was experimental? Or?
Yes.
Where were you first? Do you know where you were first dropped in? The very first time?
Dongtan.
Okay.
Where we started out at, and then we just left from there and on the airboats, and then we stayed right in the jungles.
So
we'd come back for physical, you know, they come back, checked us out probably once every month or two. Then we go right back out again.
So did you spend a lot of time in a smaller group of people, or were you in a larger group of soldiers?
A smaller group. It was only about 15 of us. We're airboats, run airboats up and down these canals. We used airboats because of the tide when it go in, we could go out and we could go out because of the mud or water.
So the airboat's kind of like a hovercraft?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's got what it is, a flat bottom boat with an airplane engine on the back.
Oh, wow.
So we could go right into small areas. It's only about 12 feet long with a gunner in the front and then your operator in the back.
And the rest of the men?
Yes. Okay. And they all had their own boats. There's 2 per boat.
Oh, okay. What types of missions did you run? Did you know, like, did you have a big plan, or was it all, like, day-to-day stuff?
Day-to-day stuff. When they needed us in different places, or night recons or anything like that, we go out. They wouldn't tell you to the last minute that you're going, so.
Oh, wow. Did you have any idea of what you were actually doing, or was it just...
Well, we knew that we had to go in and get these little villages and stuff, that the con were in these little villages, and we'd hit them sometimes at night, sometimes during the day, and go through the villages trying to get them out.
Okay. Did you have to deal with South Vietnamese as friendlies? Were you in contact with them at all? Or?
Some of them, but half the time they be friends to you at night and shoot at you at night.
Oh, wow.
I mean, friends in the day and shoot at you at night, so you never knew who was your friend, who wasn't down there.
That's okay. Was it hard to communicate with them? Was there a wall?
We had a couple people that communicated for us, talked to them and talked to us, and tell us what they were saying or where the con went and things like that.
How isolated were you from other people? Like, was it easy to get back to, like, a base, or were you out for days?
We were out for days. They used to fly us in once a month. They fly us in supplies. Or if we needed it earlier, then they'd fly in. They just drop it off, and we'd go get it, near us, within 200 or 300 yards. They drop off our supplies, and we go pick up our supplies and stay right out there.
Wow.
And once in a while, we attach at nights to a Navy vessel out in the South China Seas. If and stay there and get showers and clean up or something. But in a couple of days, we'd be all fueled and fix up the boats and stuff, and we'd head back out. But that's the only contact we had for quite a while, is out into the Navy ships.
Okay. What types of medevac were available? Like, if somebody was injured, what was the procedure?
Well, we'd call in medevac, and within a half an hour they're there and medevac them out. But they wouldn't land. We'd have to take the people out, and they'd just hover, and we'd put them in.
Oh, okay.
Because they were afraid landmines and stuff, that they would, set the helicopter on a landmine or something and blow it up. So then they'd come and get it, a person, and take them out. But we lost, a few out there, but doing that. But it was intense at times. So get them out there and stuff. Or gunner ships, if we were under a lot of fire, we'd call in the gunner ships, and they come out. It'd take them about 8 minutes to get there.
Wow.
And clear away in front of us, so we could get through.
What were the situations where you engaged the enemy? Like, how did you engage them? Were they in small groups or large groups? Or?
They're usually in convoys. A bunch of them come together. They'd be going through the woods, bringing in ammunition and everything to other people. And we contact them there or in the villages and get under fire in these villages. But like I said, we had boats that could go right up on the banks, and our gun was on the front, so we could, protect everybody.
Okay.
But a lot of times they would attack you, you're standing there, and they'll send a kid with a grenade after you. Or one time we had an old lady walking along with a machine gun attached to her back, bent over, and the old man behind her started shooting. So you never knew who to trust and who you couldn't trust out there. You just had to go day by day and hope for the best. So.
Did you feel like you had good leadership?
Yes, I did. Yeah. We just had one of our leaders, and they got rid of him. That screwed up, and he left me in my boat, and my gunner out there. My gunner was killed, but I floated a week out in the South China Seas before. The Navy found me and brought me back in, but they had me in for dead. So.
Oh, wow.
So they shipped home that I was dead and everything. I was just floating around out there.
So you were by yourself in the boat for a week?
Yes. No, I was floating in the water for a week.
Oh, you were in the water?
Yeah, it blew up the boat.
Oh,
But
wow.
nobody came back to see if we were dead or alive. But I floated around about a week. It's kind of scary because you don't know if you're bleeding, but you can see sharks and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're wondering if, you know, if those sharks are going to eat you, and you're feeling yourself over to make sure you don't feel no blood.
Mm-hmm.
We had flight jackets on, so they were filled with air and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. That's what kept me afloat. Good thing it wasn't any high tide or anything. I mean, you know, or
Yeah.
you know, hurricanes or anything. Because it never made it out there. But finally, I was picked up.
What kind of boat? The troops picked you up?
It was the Navy ship vessel out there, the gunner ship, and they happened to be going by and they see me in the water, and they picked me up. It was just about a week. I was a little dehydrated,
Yeah.
starved, but
Yeah.
but that was good. I'm glad they came along because